All right, so on the first segment of the program this morning, we're talking all things e-hailing. So ride-hailing in Abuja, InDrive in focus. Of course, most of you make use of InDrive, but I hear they're coming up with something, or perhaps something is very much in the offing right now, which you might just want to, maximize the potentials for that. All right, let me bring in my guest who will be shedding light on that. I have Oladimeji Timothy. He's the country representative for InDrive Nigeria. Oladimeji, it's nice to have you in the studios. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's your first time of being here?
Yes, it is.
Even though I know I've been speaking with you on phone, I think we had an InDrive session this 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I remember. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think we were. It was a time where people were not very much aware of
InDrive
services and also our office.
Yes.
And I think I continually talked about our office.
That's very true.
Show, yeah.
So InDrive is now a household name.
Yeah,
all right, you need to get closer to the microphone so that we can hear you pretty well.
Okay.
All right, so InDrive, I understand, you guys have been developing various initiatives just to benefit the users that we have. So I would like you to just explain to our listeners the vision behind InDrive as a ride-hailing option in Nigeria. Talk to me.
Okay. If I'm to start, it will be a long journey. But
I know you can talk.
Okay, I'll take you from why InDrive, what our mission is. So challenging injustice is the simplest way we can put it. And mobility is a key need for everybody.
Okay.
In the human characteristics, as we know in Mr. Niger is movement. And
right.
That's why we figured that's one of the ways where we can challenge injustice and ensure people have access to affordable and convenient mobility option. And beyond that, it's also an economic driver. People move because they want to earn. So, for example, our drivers, whom our current campaign is focused on,
right.
There's been a lot of clamoring about the commissions that players in our industry charge. And first off, the fact that we charge the lowest commission primarily at 9.9% net compared to what the market is one of the ways we are challenging injustice, ensuring that people are able to earn. And when drivers are able to earn and also are charged lower than what the market is saying, it means that users are also able to get access to convenient and affordable transportation. So it's a cycle. Ensure the drivers are able to earn. They are happy to deliver quality service to users. Users are happy and they are not, crashing their pocket because they are moving and on like that.
So the unique selling point for InDrive is the fact that people can haggle for the prices.
Well, that's one unique selling point. Yeah, negotiate. I mean, it's a fiber of our society. We usually look for the best bargain, right? So that's one unique selling point. Another unique selling point is the opportunity to actually choose. Choice, freedom of choice. For our drivers, they're able to choose the passengers that they want to pick. For our passengers, they're able to choose the driver based on rating for safety reasons, which is something you were talking about earlier.
All right.
You're able to choose based on his rating, based on the rides they've made and the like. So that's another unique selling point that we have that no one else in the market
now,
has.
InDrive is global?
Absolutely, we're global. 48 countries globally, over 800 cities in the world.
Wow.
Yes.
And in terms of those that are making use of your services right now, can you put a population to it?
We're top 3, but we're not number 2. So
like how many downloads now? Because I know that last time, 2 years ago, you were talking about 15 million and the likes.
Maybe not to put a number presently, but we are the highest most downloaded ride-hailing platform. We are the second most downloaded in the world in the category of travel.
Wow.
And we are the highest most downloaded ride-hailing platform in Nigeria.
Oh.
So that gives you an insight as to what our size, our coverage, and the reach that we have is.
Let's jump in on the latest offering that you are bringing in. So I understand lately InDrive lowered the commissions for drivers in Abuja to 0.1% commission during peak hours. What informed that decision and why the choice of Abuja and not a place like Lagos?
Okay, let's start with what informed the decision. Peak hours are the time where a lot of impact can be made. People are moving around a lot. Drivers are probably making more because people are closing, right? There's more movement during the period. And we identified aside from the fact that we have the lowest commission already, we identified the opportunity to actually make the best impact to every of our users, both passengers and drivers, by extending even a lower commission to drivers in Abuja. So that's like the whole vision. More opportunity for people to access affordable trips and more opportunity for drivers to even earn better. It's more like keeping everything that they actually earn.
All
so
right.
that's like why we are doing it. And why Abuja?
Talk to me, why? I mean, this is Lagos. Why are you going to Abuja?
I would say an opportunity to test and see how it is. I mean, if you want to experiment something, you go ankle deep before you go knee deep, right?
All right.
So that's that. We can leave it at that as an opportunity to test and see how it is received, what the impact is, and then if you see the opportunity to scale, hey, why not?
So let's talk about the impact right now. So what has been the feedback? So far, so good?
So I was in Abuja to do a test. I drove myself, but I went on the road to actually do a proper test and see. Okay, so I have first-hand experience. But from a driver's perspective, I did a couple of interviews on drivers, and yeah, they identified it as one of the incentives that we've been giving, which is encouraging them to do more and earn more. They also identify it as a way that is disrupting and challenging the market. Like if InDrive can do 0.1%, I mean, I'm sure it's taking a dip in our pocket. Why can't the market actually adjust? So it's really challenging injustice, as we've said we want to, at every opportunity. So yes, that's been the feedback. It's encouraging. The drivers are happy. They are able to keep everything that they make during the peak hours, and passengers are also happy because the rides cost are fair. Okay,
so let's talk about weekends now. So how does the commission rates apply on weekends?
Same thing. Peak hours. So our system, we are technology driven, so we have enough data to inform us as to what exactly the peak hours are. So the peak hours and the weekend also exist in Abuja.
So it applies.
Yes, it does apply.
All right. So what are the peak hours? Let's even dwell on that a bit.
So for Abuja, the peak hours run between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. Mondays to Friday, and then 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mondays to Friday. So every ride within those hours actually are charged at 0.1%. Same for weekends actually.
Wow.
Yes.
Even weekends. So do you have peak hours by 7 a.m.?
No, not 7 a.m. I'll check and confirm the exact peak hours for that.
Now, recently, I understand that the company launched the law enforcement request portal in Nigeria. Right?
Yes, we did.
How effective has that been?
Presently, I'm glad that you identified that it's presently launched, and we are identifying opportunity for improvement in terms of adoption. I would start with why did we launch the law enforcement portal? Every time there is a safety incident, there's a need to collaborate with the law enforcement to ensure that we are communicating the data that would assist them in investigation to address safety concerns according to the data protection laws, which states that we cannot give users' data to third parties, which are very compliant by.
Right.
So we identified the need for a closed system between us as a company that processes rights with the police, with the FRSC, to ensure that we can transfer data to them to assist in terms of investigation. So presently we've launched, the platform is live. We've had a number of entries, but what we identify is in a further need to actually work closely with the police, work closely with the FRSC to create a closed system and the gaps that we've identified. So it's going through launch. We are sensitizing. We are also building better systems to ensure that the system is adopted and creating awareness for users to know that, if you have cases and you need to, file a police report and the likes, this particular platform is available for the police officer investigating to get the needed information from us.
So the portal is what now? You just go to your InDrive app?
We made publications about it. So there's a link you could put in InDrive's law enforcement request portal.
Okay.
So that gives you access to, but it's only available to law enforcement officer. If a general user requests for data through it, they won't get it. So that's our own way of ensuring that it's not available to the general public, but to only law enforcement officers.
So what's the level of usage right now by passengers and new drivers alike?
As I said, we're still doing a lot of sensitization.
Test, right?
Presently, sensitization to ensure awareness about it. We believe that the uptake will be better as we continue our launch and sensitization across the different stakeholders that we're working with.
Let's talk about InDrive. Where are you guys located in Nigeria? How many cities have you been able to touch so far, so good?
We are presently in 7 cities: Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Benin, Ibadan, Owerri, and Enugu.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, and they're all picking up in all those states too?
Absolutely. We are number one. We are top 3, but not number 2 or number 3.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So now that you've launched the 0.1% commission in Abuja, when should other cities expect this kind of largesse as well?
I mean, we have different initiatives for different cities. For example, in Lagos, we're giving out TVs, refrigerators, phones to our drivers. So it's basically we are very data driven. So we identify what would work for different cities. So Lagos is experiencing that. We also have an initiative that is paying school fees for drivers' kids. I mean, they'll be back to school soon. So it's our own way of contributing to impact, the family-focused impact, because we know that most of the drivers, actually we identify most of them are family-focused. They work for their family most of the time. So how can we impact them? So that's an initiative that is happening in Lagos as well.
Has people been benefiting from that?
Absolutely, a lot of times. Yesterday was Wednesday. We had another session where we had about 20 or 25 winners that we selected that would be getting things from TVs, refrigerators.
And I didn't win too. What happened? If they were winning, I didn't win. Dimeji, what's going on?
I mean, come on an InDrive and would figure that out.
I have some messages that are coming in here for you. Lagos Traffic Radio 08099120777. This one says, "Good morning, Mr. Oladimeji. What makes InDrive different from other ride-hailing services aside from pricing?" Omishore is sending this one in. Omishore, thank you so much. So maybe you want to convince Omishore and others who are listening to you right now.
Aside from pricing, the opportunity to actually pick, now freedom of choice is very key, and transparency as well is another thing that I would spotlight. The fact that you know who you're picking, the driver as well knows who he's picking, knows where he's picking up from and where he's going to. We are the first to proliferate this particular initiative for ride-hailing as from a safety angle. In terms of safety, we have a proactive before reactive. And how do we ensure this? The opportunity to be able to pick a driver based on his rating. A driver that has a 4.9 rating and 2,000 trips record is an indication that he is an excellent driver. And if you have such options on our platform, it means that you are safe already before even the trip starts. So we think about your safety before you even get into the trip. So transparency, safety are two key things aside pricing, which is a key factor in transportation.
All right. The report from the Ikorodu and Ogolonto corridor still indicates that things are still looking pretty good at the moment. However, it is slow if you are approaching Antikeni, and this is due to commercial activities within that particular corridor. I'm having some more reactions coming in for you. 08099120777. This one here says, let me see. It says, "Good morning, Victor. Kindly ask Mr. Oladimeji if kindly ask Mr. Oladimeji if InDrive if InDrive own the cars they use or the individuals." This is coming from Comrade Daniel Onobume, one of our very regulars. Comrade Daniel, thank you so much. So, who owns the cars that are used? Is it the owner or
the drivers own the vehicles?
Oh, the drivers own the cars.
Yes, they do.
They just sign up with InDrive, and then you're able to conduct business as usual.
Yes.
And like you said, one of the driving thing is that people can haggle the prices, right? You can negotiate
better. Yes.
All right. Okay. Omishore was asking about the unique. Is it just pricing alone that you have, or are there other incentives that really makes InDrive very unique?
For drivers, low commission. We have the lowest commission in the market at 9.9%. For drivers, opportunity to actually plan your trips, like select where you want to go to. There are drivers who prefer to work on the mainland, and they're able to pick their trips based on this, because you have you can choose from a feed or from others that come in, and if you don't want to go somewhere, you can skip that, and that's a choice that helps a lot of part-time drivers, especially. For example, the driver that dropped me off on my trip somewhere yesterday was like, he was going to the office in the morning, and he saw that my trip was going there, and
so even though you're the representative for InDrive in Nigeria, you still bought those.
Oh, absolutely. I do this every day. That's the best way to get feedback, and feedback is a critical thing that we look out for at InDrive. Every day I must use an InDrive.
Okay. All right. Another message here says, Victor, good morning to you and your guests. Please, when are we going to have InDrive in states like Kogi and Nasarawa that borders Abuja? Gabriel is sending this one in. Gabriel, thank you so much. So, are you having plans for expansion to those states?
We can never tell. But, I mean, never say never. That's what I would say.
Kogi Nasarawa.
Never say never. But for now, we're not there yet.
Okay. Another question here says, good morning. What happens if a driver refuses to take me to certain locations? Busayo is sending that one. Busayo, thank you so much. So what happens?
There's more. There has to be more context to that. Is it during a trip or before a trip? So I assume that the question is during a trip. It's important to give feedback as to incomplete service, and that is something we frown upon. There have been cases of this type of stuff. So at the end of a trip, you have to give a rating. Okay. So that's why I said feedback is a critical thing that we take seriously at InDrive.
All
so
right.
After the rating is given, you can put an indication of what exactly is happening in the comment section, and it will be acted upon. Let's
begin to round this all up now. But one message just popped in. This one says, Mr. Oladimeji, how does the company handle unruly drivers? Mrs. Okon is sending this one in. Mrs. Okon, thank you so much.
So that would be an extension of the question that was asked before. So let's say a driver was unruly. First, we have zero tolerance for unruly drivers. If a driver is reported, there are different ban policies. For example, a driver can get banned for like an hour for being late, and it can be ban armored, which means I can't come onto our platform for different cases. So our banning policy goes from 1 hour for a warning, 6 hours for certain type of events. And what does 1 hour, 6 hours means? For a driver, 6 hours is like an 80,000 naira or a 60,000 naira. So he thinks about it in monetary terms. So those kind of enforcement ensures that drivers understand what they've done, why they are getting banned, and what they should do.
You'll be wondering why I'm giggling. I did say that was the last message, but a message just popped in and it's very, very funny to me. It says, good morning, great job. Apart from Abuja, I didn't hear him mention Kano or Kaduna or Jos. Waiting northern parts do. This is Abdul Malik. Abdul Malik, thank you.
Funny thing, while I was in Abuja just recently, I had conversations with a number of persons, and Kano actually popped up at in the radar. So maybe, just maybe visiting Kano.
That might be the next city that you'll be taking InDrive to.
Yeah.
All right, let's begin to round this all up right now. What's your message? What message do you have for passengers and even drivers about safety, convenience, pricing when they are using InDrive?
First off, a very big thank you to our passengers and our drivers who are moving us. We are very happy to partner with you. And in terms of safety, we want to further reiterate our commitment to safety with the different initiatives that we've launched from our law enforcement report portal. And we appreciate the feedbacks, and we also look out for them more through different channels that we have, from our social media to our email. And paying a visit to our office, we are always happy to receive feedbacks for continuous improvement.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll leave it at that for now. Oladimeji, nice having you in the building. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's your first time of getting to our studios. What do you make of our studios, by the way?
It's cozy.
All right, then. So you're welcome. All right. We'll be reflecting on ride-hailing in Abuja, InDrive in Focus, and Oladimeji Timothy, who is a country representative of InDrive, has taken us on an excursion. A brief break. When we return, we'll do our birthdays before we switch to Build Right.
Hello, everyone.